The number one absolute biggest mistakes and regret that I've made when I first started real estate, and I wish I didn't. Here goes. Intro. You guys, in this video, I'm going to share with you guys my personal experience and opinion on the mistakes that I wish I didn't make, and how it set me back, and how I could have been at a better place than I am today. All right? But overall, you know, I believe everything happens for a reason. Now, before I get into it, I want you guys to drop me a comment and let me know what you think it is. And also too is maybe drop me a comment, let me know what are some mistakes and regret that you made that you wish you didn't. All right, drop me a comment and let me know. Now, for those of you who've been following me for a long time, you might know what it is, all right? Because I briefly talk about it, but maybe for those of you who are new to the channel, you might not know what it is, and you might be even surprised because most investors don't talk about this, all right, you guys? So drop me a comment and let me know. Guess what it is? So you guys, the biggest mistakes and regret that I made when I first started is fix and flip. That is my number one absolute biggest mistake and regret that I've made, that I wish I've never made when I first got into real estate. It has set my wife and I back financially. It's, you know, and that I had to go through so many heartache and pain, and there were times where I was in financial stress because of it. And I'll tell you the reason why. So when my wife and I first started getting into real estate, we pushed away wholesaling because we figured that it didn't make, it can't be scalable, and you can't make large profit. All right. So we were just zoned in and got into fix and flip because of the bigger profit margin, and we didn't want to start at ground zero as a wholesaler. And another thing is that when we got into fix and flip, we didn't want to do one or two deals or one or two or three flips a year. We're looking to scale it up to a couple $100,000 per a month. So when we got into it, we were just, grinding, hustling, and, taking massive action. And, and when we work on one property, we're already looking to acquire another one and work on another one. Like I said, we're not looking to do one or two or three a year. We're looking to scale it up to a couple $100,000 a month. So I was also in go too fast, too quick, right? Because when we first started, I didn't know anything about real estate. I didn't have any construction background. I couldn't even put a door handle together, you guys. I didn't know anything, right? I didn't know what shingles is. I didn't know what drywall is. I didn't even know what laminate flooring is, believe it or not. I didn't, to me, window is windows, roof is roof. Siding, I didn't even know what siding is. People would have to tell me that, it's the outside of the house. It's like those pieces that you put on us. Like, I wouldn't even know what they mean when they say siding. I didn't even know between galvanized plumbing and steel. Like, I didn't know any term. Yeah, I guess I didn't know any term or any vocab in the real estate world, right? As far as remodeling the house, I didn't know anything. So when we first started, I was trying to go too fast, too quick, because like I said, we're trying to scale it up to a couple $100,000 a month. We're not looking to do 3 to 4 flips a year. So I made, starting in knowing nothing, I made a bunch of mistakes, and that I was tying up so much of our, we're tying up so much capitals, and we were getting loan from banks and stuff like that. And it got to the point where I was doing 3 to 4 projects at the same time. And oh man, it was such a headache. It was such a headache. It was such a stressful life. I was waking up at 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning, and my day wouldn't be over until could be 10, could be 11 p.m. at night. And I would wake up, dealing with contractor, going to the city, getting permits, all kinds of stuff. And I was just bad at managing contractor overall, right? I was bad at managing contractor, running contractor. I try to zone in and work with just a GC, and even that is the problem, right? They never show up on time. They'll tell you one thing is done, and the next thing you know, it's never done. And the time frame that we have on it, when we first go in, we first went in and we figured that the profit after everything is done and said, all the realtor commission is paid, we figured the profit's going to be like 30,000, 40,000, 50,000, whatever the amount is. And it'll always come up to never, it was more like, after everything said, we were making, maybe 20, 25, and things like that. So basically I'm telling you is that our potential profit was getting cut day by day by day because of all the things that come up on the rehab, right? It's never like what you see, right? Because all the deal that I pick up wasn't cosmetic, wasn't go in there and throw up some paint, put on some carpet, maybe put in some new vanity for the bathrooms and things like that. It was never like that. It was like a complete rehab, right? Adding bedrooms, adding bathrooms. So a lot of times when you open up the walls, a lot of stuff behind the walls you can't see, right? Because you're buying these property assets and you go out there, you try and do as much due diligence as you can. But things always come up, right? With contractor, they come in, they tell you it's one price, and then they come up to another price. They always want to get paid before the job is complete. All kinds of things that I have to deal with, and life was just, And in the meantime of running the project and contractor, I also have to focus on trying to find, deals, like because you're trying to bring in deals, right? So I'm not just focusing on finishing one project, but I'm also focusing on a couple projects at the same time and market and trying to generate leads, right? Trying to generate deal that comes in, right? So it was like constantly one after another. Like once you got the money back from one rehab, it seems like it goes to another one, and it just never ends, right? And my life was a mess, right? My life was a mess. I wish that I would have discovered at the time we also kind of discovered wholesaling, but we pushed away wholesaling because we didn't think it was scalable. And we thought that, why would I want to start at, we got a little bit of money saved up. So why would we start at ground zero when we could start at ground one, right? So we in our head was like, okay, first when you get into real estate, it's wholesaling. Then you stack up the cash. Then you go into fix and flip. Then you go into building or developing and skyscraper, right? You just work your way up. But we were completely wrong. Like I wish that when we first started, we would have been more of an open mind to wholesaling and see the opportunities that wholesaling can provide and the lifestyle as a wholesaler. I'm telling you guys, like you have to experience to know what I'm saying. And the one thing I can tell you guys from my personal experience and talking to other rehabler, they all came back to very, very similar. When you're doing 1 or 2 or 3 projects a year, flips a year, it's fine, right? It's fine. But when you really try to scale up, it's really, 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 really tough, right? And when I talk to other fix and flipper, I kind of ask them, and it's very similar to my story, right? These are the guys that are trying to really scale up, very, very similar to my stories. And they have issue with contractor, they have to issue with time frame getting it done. And the thing is about fix and flip is when you tie up so much capital, so much of your money, you must understand that you have to have reserve. Even though when you go in at it, people said no money real estate, like you don't need your own money to buy property. It's true. Basically, you can go and get private or hard money, or you can get a partner that has the cash and you go and you run the project, right? But the thing is, you guys got to understand is like when you get these loans, you got to make payments on it. So you got to have reserve. So if you're doing 3 to 4 projects at the same time, and these projects are in like the $200,000, the $300,000, the $400,000 price range. So, because I know different area, different market, right? Because there's a market where you can buy property for $20,000, $30,000, and things like that. But in my market, you're looking at like at least, at the time, we're buying property for $150,000, $250,000, $300,000, and all the ways close to up to $400,000. And that's just as is price, right? That's not including the amount of money that we have to put into fixing them up. So you guys got to make sure that when you do fix and flip, you have to have a reserve, right? Which means you have to have a reserve, the money sitting in your bank, ready for any issue that comes up, right? So, you got to have the money sitting in your bank for. I'm saying if this is you're doing yourself and you're going out there, you're getting private or hard money, right? You got to make sure you have to have those budget reserve. Otherwise, if something comes up on your projects, because you're doing multiple at the same time, man, it's like it can really, really turn you upside down very, very, very quickly. And how do I know that? Because sorry, you guys got an incoming call. So anyways, I went through it. I was running 2 to 3, I think about at that time, and we're running almost 4 projects, right? And we're having so much of our cash and our capital tied up where there's days where I want to get Starbucks and I didn't want to because I knew that, every single dollar counts at that time, right? So, we end up going out to eat and things like that because, I was working so much and every single dollar counts at that time. And life was just hectic. And it doesn't need to be. That's what I'm telling you. It's when we discovered wholesaling, it was like a whole new world. When I first did my first wholesale deal, if you guys have followed my channel, in 7 days, we tie a piece of property up on the contract. And we wholesale it in 7 days. Oh my gosh, you guys, another incoming call. Sorry. So where was I at? Well, so when I discovered wholesaling and we tie a piece of property up on the contract, wholesaled it and made about 28,000 in 7 days, and that just blew my mind away, right? That just blew my mind away because when I was fixing and flipping, I was going at it, fix and flip this property. 3 months, 4 months, 5 months. It took me to finish the project, right? And then I got to go list the property. Let's just say within like 4 to 6 months, I was able to fix the property up and sold the property. And I made 30,000, 40,000, right? But look at how much time I spent on it. And that is the whole thing, you guys. So, man, so you guys might ask me, so Khang, how did you know to transitions into wholesaling? Well, at the time we got the good deals coming in, but I didn't have any more cash to buy, right? We didn't have any more cash to buy. We were tap out, right? Didn't have any more money. We couldn't leverage anymore, right? And it was just so stressful, and I just disliked the lifestyle. And you guys got to understand, the only reason why people would change is because they're unhappy or unsatisfied with where they're at. Because if you're happy and if you're satisfied, trust me, you're not going to look for other opportunities or other career or other business to invest in. I was just unhappy, unsatisfied with where I was at with where I'm at with the business and everything like that. And then at the time, my wife and I just start looking into different revenue. Like we need different revenue to start generating cash, so that way we can fund, the rehab. So we got so many deals coming in, and we're like, well, you know what? So we already kind of know about wholesaling. Then I started watching, a little bit more video about it. Then I went to a meetup group, and they're talking about this deal here, and things like that. It was listed, and then it got pulled off, and then I went to this meetup, and they were talking about this deal, how some rehab in there said, hey, if whoever, if I could buy this property for this much, I would have totally buy it, and things like that. So so that kind of triggered me, and then I went and I try to locate the seller. We look them up, we send them a letters, and the seller calls me. Anyway, lock it up on the contract, found the buyers within, and like I said, found the buyer in 2 days, closed it in 7 days, and made $28K on it. And that's when it just blew my mind of how much time I spent on it and how much money I can make wholesaling. So we decided right when we made that check, we completely stopped fix and flip, and then we just we finish up what we got, and then we learn how to, you know, from watching other people and information courses and things like that we have to buy to learn how to market, to generate you know, to generate motivated sellers coming in and things like that. And that's when we just transition. We stop the fix and flip, and we just focus our whole attention on wholesaling. But I was still being dragged back and hold behind because of the fix and flip that I had to finish, right? I wanted to go at wholesaling full time, put all my attention, but I was, you know, and I was still having like this pullback with my fix and flip, because there was like, I think at the time I still have like 2 projects that I need to finish. But man, but when I when I did that first wholesale deal, it just blew me away, and it let me see that, man, how the possibilities, I guess that's what it is. It let me see the possibilities and how we can scale this so big. All right, you guys. So anyways, but I do believe that everything happened for a reason. I do believe everything happened for a reason. I do believe that, you know, maybe I was meant to push, you know, to be put through that path of the fix and flip and things like that, so I can learn the things I need to learn to, you know, to put it in play when I got into wholesaling. So I do believe everything happened for a reason, to get me, you know, to where I am today. But I'm just telling you guys that if I was to start all over again and knowing what I know now, I would not do fix and flip. I would have just jump into wholesaling. But maybe for you it's different, right? Maybe for you or somebody else that you know might have a complete different opinion, might have a complete different experience than I am. I'm just sharing with you my opinion and my experience of what I would change if I start all over again. Now, the one last thing I want to tell you guys is that when I got into wholesaling, the biggest mistakes, maybe I should save this for another video on wholesaling, and that I could have gotten so much better results if I would have known this. And maybe I'll cut this and then I'll do another video for this. But the biggest mistake that when I got into wholesaling is that I should have spent more time learning how to talk to seller and communicate and how to talk to seller. That was my number one biggest issue when I first started wholesaling, and how it held me back. I guess overall just started real estate, right? Because I didn't know how to talk and communicate with seller like I do today. And that really holds me back. And I can share with you guys in another video why communication and talking to seller is the biggest thing you need to know when getting into real estate. Because you got to understand, that's how you're going to close deals. It's being able to talk and communicate to seller of what service you're providing. And you got to make it sound like it's music to the ear, right? And if you don't know how to communicate and say things properly, then you're not going to be able to make the sales. Does that make sense? It's like you have a product that you're trying to sell, and if you can't communicate properly to the other person, it's really hard for the seller to pull the trigger to sign the contract with you. And trust me, I know this because when I first started, looking back, I have lost so many deals because I didn't know how to communicate and talk to the seller properly, even if they were motivated, right? I was waiting for the one that is just super motivated. That was like, okay, the price is good. I don't care what else you say. You know, I'm ready to go, right? But I'm telling you that you can convert these leads a lot better if you know how to talk to the seller, right? If you know how to communicate properly, you will be able to convert the leads that's coming in. Your percentage is going to be a lot higher. You don't need to wait for the one that's just super motivated, right? And that's what I was. I was waiting for the one that's just super motivated. And the biggest thing is, you guys, I didn't even know that, you know, I didn't even know that I needed help in that area. I thought I was okay until I realized it. You know, I've been going at it. I've been getting leads. I've been taking massive action. I've been marketing, but I cannot talk to these sellers properly. And I was losing deals left and right. All right, you guys. Now, if you are having trouble, like let's just say, if you've been going at this for a while and you're having trouble communicating and talking to seller, and you're having trouble negotiating, getting them to come down on price because they're stuck at retail value, or they're somewhat motivated, but you don't know what to say to get them to come off on price and to lock that property up on a contract, check out my King Kong Amazing Seller Script package. The link is in the descriptions. Go to Wholesale to Million at Wholesale to Millions, no S.com. It's $4.95, you guys. But I'll share with you guys all the contract that we use to purchase and sell, the assignment, the double closing, the addendum. But biggest thing is I'll share with you how the exact way that I talk to seller and get the seller lock their property up on the contract all over the phone. You don't need to see the seller. You don't need to see the property. You're able to lock these property up on the contract all over the phone. It's all about knowing what to say and how to say it. All right, you guys. And so the link is in the description. This is only for those of you who's ready, who are committed, who are unsatisfied, unhappy, and you're pretty much just, like I said, you're either unhappy or unsatisfied. So a lot of times you can be happy, but you're just unsatisfied because you feel like your potential can be so much more, so you can take your life and your lifestyle can be at such a different place, right? But you just don't know what to do, right? You just don't know how to get to that next level. And I'm telling you, once you know how to communicate with the seller, you're able to convert these leads. Your chances of convert these leads into actual deals is so much higher. And if you never lock a property up on a contract virtually before, man, you're missing out. You don't need to go out there and meet the seller. I used to think that you need to go out there to meet the seller so your chance of locking these property up on a contract is higher, but I was wrong. It's because I don't know how to convert them over the phone, right? Because there's certain things that you got to say when they say, oh, make me an offer, or, how can you make me an offer without seeing my property, right? Or when they give you a price, then you'll be like, okay, well, how about I send you the next day to go meet up with you at the property? Because you don't know what else to say, right? What else to say to get them to move them forward to getting them to sign and commit to selling you the property over the phone. You don't know what to say. That's the problem. Right? Because the normal thing to say is like I said, that's exactly what I did when they call in. I talked to them a little bit. They gave me a price. I said, okay, well, let me do some research and then I'll get back to you. Or I'll get back to you if they're not motivated. But if they are, then I'll be like, okay, not a problem. Thanks a lot. So I gather information. I say, okay, let me do some research on the property. But what is a good time for us to meet, right? That's what I would say. What's a good time for us to meet? Are you open for tomorrow or the next day? And I'll set a time. I'll go out there and meet with them to make them the offer, right? Because I did not know what else to say or how to say it to get these locked up on the contract over the phone. And I was worried that I would lose the deal because I was worried that I would lose out on the deal, right? And I'm telling you guys, it's like you don't know what you don't know, right? And I'm telling you, if you never lock a property up on a contract virtually before, the script will blow your mind away. Because I did it, my purchase manager did it, right? And we're able to use the script. My wife able to use the script to train up all the VA, right? So you can train anybody up to going from the first phone call, getting all the information, to actually hiring somebody to lock the property up on a contract all over the phone. They don't need to have any real estate experience or education or background or anything like that. They can be trained just by following the script. All right, you guys, and that's how you're able to scale up your business, is being able to duplicate yourself. But I definitely recommend, if you never closed a deal before, you should get some deals under your belt. You should get some cash, stack up the cash first before you really trying to build the team, right? So, but that's just what I'm sharing with you, you know. And also too, you'll be able to get access to my private Facebook group, right? So once you make the purchase, you'll be able to get access to my private Facebook group. That's where I'll share with you guys even more, some things. You know, I even share with you guys more on like inside the business, and also too, you'll be able to ask any question. I am actively on there. We have over, I think we're close to about 150 member already that's on there, and it's a small, tight community of massive action taker. These are people that are ready, that are committed to take their life and this business to the next level, and they know that this ain't gonna be easy, that this is gonna be hard work, but they are ready and they are committed. And that's the community that we're building. It's not for those that thinks like they can go in and get rich quick. These are for people that's willing to help each other out to get to the next level, and knowing that we're all on this journey together. It's just like you trying to get to the next place, I'm trying to get to the next place, and the other person, so on, right? So if you want to be a part of this community, you know, when you make the purchase, you can. We all, like I said, if you have it, you know, when you have question, you can post your question on there. You can do a video, and I'll be able to respond back, or other team member on the group can be able to help you, assist with you. And a lot of times, you know, people are like, well, I don't know if I should buy it. I don't know if the value's there. I don't know if it's worth it. I don't know if I can get my money out of it. I don't know. You know, these are all the things that I'm sharing with you, that when I first started, or even now when I make a purchase, like, these are the things that go through my head, and I want to help you guys unlock it, right? So you question, like, does it worth it? I don't know if it's worth it. Like, you know, does it really gonna help me out? Is it really gonna benefit me? And things like that. And all I can tell you, if you are ready, and if you are committed, and if you are having trouble talking and negotiating with seller, if you want to scale up your business, right? And if you want to close deal virtually, you can use my script going out there, you can use the script to go out there and meet the seller to talk the exactly same thing. But I'm telling you, this script, you can scale it up to virtually wholesale, right? And you'll be able to use the script if you want to cold call, if you want to go door knock. It's just about changing the intro. I want to get all that in this video. But the thing is, I think people will always base on, is the value there? Is it worth it for me? Is it going to be the right purchase? Am I going to get the information out of it? Or maybe I'll just you know, watch other video and trying to learn and trying to figure out and trying to save that $500. And let me tell you this, just one thing you get out of it that can save you, maybe one thing that I share with you in the script or in the Facebook page, that will save you, you know, that will teach you, that will show you how to negotiate with seller, that can get them to come off $500, $1,000, $2,000 when you're negotiating with them. That is just putting money in your pocket right there. That is already a return. And a lot of times people don't buy something until they ran into a problem, and they'll be like, and when you lose out on a deal because you didn't know how to communicate, or you didn't know, you didn't know that missing piece, and that missing piece could have been in the package, or it could have been in the Facebook group where you could have gone on there, pop your question, got your question answered, able to lock that property up on the contract, able to find that buyer and sell that deal and make $5,000, $10,000. Could be a couple thousand, and you already got it, and you already got your money back, and now you're just, you know, doing it over and over and over again with, there's no more charges, right? You're in the Facebook group until you want to get out. And the only two reasons I allow you to get off the Facebook group: one, you close your first wholesale deal; two, you're outgrown the group, there's no more value that we can add to you. But otherwise, everybody's on there. It's just, you know, they learn something, they go on there and they try to share it with you, with everybody on there. Because like I said, it's a really small, tight community where we're all trying to help each other grow, motivate each other to get to the next level and succeed in this business. So anyways, you guys, that's pretty much it. If you're interested, the link is in the description. Go to wholesale2million.com. I would love to see you guys a part of this massive action taker Facebook family, taking your life, your business to the next level. And it's, you know, guys, it's time. Don't say tomorrow, the next day. The time is now. Because a lot of times if you don't pull the trigger now, Like if you don't do it now, your mind will play trick on you and tell you otherwise to not do it. But I'm saying this is only for those of you who's ready. If you're not ready, just please don't buy it. Don't waste your money if you're not ready. If you're like iffy about it, I don't know if I really want to do this or not, don't buy it. These are for people who say, Khang, I'm done. I'm tired of where I'm at. I'm ready and I'm just committed to take this life, this business to the next level with you, and let's go. It's for those of you. All right, you guys. Anyways, you guys take care. If this video helps you in any way, shape, or form to help you, maybe you getting into real estate, to help you clear things up a little bit, smash the thumbs up for me. Drop me a comment. Let me know. I'm so happy and grateful to have every single one of you guys a part of this awesome Wholesale to Million family. And thank you so much for helping growing the channel. I truly, deep down appreciate it. 6 years ago, I've been it's October already. I'm 6 years in. When I first started, I've never ever would have imagined that one day that I would create a channel that have such a good, supportive followers, connecting with you guys. I'm just super humble and grateful for everything. So thank you so much, you guys. Take care. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.